8th March was declared as International Women's Day by the UN in 1975. What was the purpose? Celebrating womanhood, of course, but more than that, it was promoting equality. And a very important way in which you can promote equality between men and women is through language. And that is why I thought today we should take up the topic or the concept of gender neutral language. Let us understand what is meant by gender neutral language. Now I am going to make a very important statement. Any language is a reflection of its culture. That means the culture of a society is reflected in the language. Now earlier the society was male dominated for a simple reason that God made great partiality when He distributed physical power between men and women. Men are physically more powerful in general. I mean, there are exceptions of course, but in general men are physically more powerful. And in the earlier days, physical power was very important. So man was the king, man was the breadwinner, man was the head of the family. And so in general, the society was male dominated. Now let me come back to my first statement that any language is a reflection of the culture. So if the culture or the society was male dominated, the language was bound to be male dominated. I will give you some examples of this later on. Now, as we entered the 21st century or what we call the technotronic age. Now, technotronic is a hybrid word. It is a combination of two words, technology and electronic. So, we entered the technotronic age in which physical power became less important. And what was more important was your IQ. IQ stands for intelligence quotient. In fact, research tells us that there is something even more important than the IQ in today's world, which is the EQ. And EQ stands for emotional quotient. And thankfully, God did not make any partiality when He distributed IQ and EQ between men and women. We are at par. Some may say women are even better actually, but I won't get into any controversy. So we are definitely equals when it comes to our intelligence power. There are many fields today that women have started working in which were earlier not possible for them. For example, women are pilots now, they are into defense in general, they are into IT. So many fields have opened up for women today, and therefore gradually, steadily, slowly, change is being brought about in the society. And let me come back to my initial statement. Language is a reflection of the society or the culture. Since the society is changing, it is moving slowly in the direction of equality. I won't say we are already there, we have a long way to go, but slowly we are moving in the right direction. And since the society is changing, language is also undergoing a significant change, and this change is gender neutral language. Now let me give you some simple examples which will definitely be an eye opener for you. For example, in the earlier days we used to say she's a housewife. Now housewife is outdated. We don't use this word anymore. Housewife is not a gender neutral word. A gender neutral term which we use today very commonly is a homemaker. So if you're using housewife, stop using this word. It is outdated. It is obsolete. Homemaker is neutral because it could be a man or it could be a woman. Now what is the need to bring about these changes? When you say she's a housewife, don't you attach a certain negative or a derogatory sense to it? It means she's just a housewife. That means she doesn't do anything worthwhile. She doesn't earn money. But now people have realized that being at home, taking care of your children, looking after the well-being of everyone, nurturing everyone is a 24/7 thankless, unpaid job. And it needs to have some dignity. And that is why we need to make certain changes in the terms or the words that we are using. So instead of housewife, if you say she's a homemaker, it gives it an elevated status. And the second reason being, there are a few men now, I mean only a few, you can count them on your fingertips, but there are a few men now who are actually being at home, stay at home dads, and they say, I'll take up the role of a mother, I'll be a cook, I will nurture the child. And so you can't call this man a housewife, right? So it is the need of the day that we need to make changes to the language. So we say he's a homemaker or she's a homemaker. There are many such other words. Let me give you another example. Earlier we used to use the word chairman. Now we prefer to use the term chairperson because there are many women who are in the CXO positions, top level positions. You can't call that woman a chairman. Obviously, calling her a chairwoman sounds very odd. So a natural change in the language is using a neutral term person. So we say he's the chairperson or she is the chairperson. Let's take the example of sports. Let's take the field of sports. Cricket, for example. Earlier we had only the word batsman. Now women's cricket is gaining a lot of popularity today in India, right? Jemima Rodriguez is a household name suddenly. Now you can't call her a batsman, so we use the gender neutral term batter. So batter is a word which is newly coined in the English language to show gender equality. So Virat Kohli is a batter and Jemima Rodriguez is also a batter. So if we say batsman, it's not wrong, but it's simply outdated language. And I don't think you want to keep using outdated language, right? So you need to make these changes. In written English too, we need to use gender neutral language. So basically we need to use both the pronouns she or he to mean everyone, right? So traditionally, we used to write three different words, she or he or she. But we need to change that now. The modern convention is to write S/HE, she or he, meaning both the genders. Now ladies, a very important question for you. If you're married, what is the title that you use before your name? Mrs. So-and-so, right? And if you're unmarried, you say Miss So-and-so. But the gentlemen, they use the title Mr. Either they are married or not married, doesn't matter. It's Mr. So-and-so before marriage and after marriage. No change. Now, isn't this inequality? Have you ever questioned yourself, why does a woman need to disclose her marital status, whether she's married or unmarried? How does that make a difference? So we need to start using a gender neutral term which is Ms. So-and-so. The spelling is MS. So it is not MISS like Miss, it is not MRS like Mrs, but it is MS, Ms. And the pronunciation is also different. It is not S like the hissing of a snake, it is Z like the buzzing of a bee, Ms. So-and-so. So please start using this title before your name, ladies. And gentlemen, if you're addressing a woman, make sure you don't use the outdated terms Mrs. and Miss. Please use the title Ms. before a woman's name. So the whole point of doing this video is not just asking you to make superficial changes in the way you use language or vocabulary. It goes much deeper than that. These little changes will bring about a big change in the end. So guys, if you start making these changes in the way you speak, you are actually promoting equality. You are the agents of equality and you're actually working towards a better future. So this 8th March is not just about Women's Day. It is much more than that. Let us make these changes and be the agents of change ourselves. For more such thought-provoking content, please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also join our online and offline courses at Bapat Academy. Enjoy English!